Hey, welcome. My name is Paula, and this is Fundiendo Neuronas, Melting Neurons. In this video or live, I'm going to tell you 7 smart ways to spend your third stimulus check. Actually, this is not really my kind of content, kind of topic. However, I was inspired by many people, many Americans, of course, that had as New Year's resolution spend saving money, which is to me very very funny, as I am very, I know how to save my money. Oh, let me say that I know how to save my money, and I am not a compulsive buyer and that kind of stuff. I have my moments, of course, as anyone with emotions. However, I know how to deal with money. So I'm going to tell you 7 tips, 7 ways that I wrote down. First, you have to cover your basic essentials, your basic uh, things that you have to pay. Of course, you have to pay your rent, your mortgage. Hey, you. Thank you for being there. You have to pay your mortgage. You have to pay your rent. You have to pay your insurance. That kind of stuff. If your income, if your wage has decreased due to this pandemic, hey, mi madrina. Hola, Cristina. Welcome, Cristina. I was inspired by you for this video. For to be honest, actually, you and all the Americans that have some problems saving money, and not only saving money, is because the American culture pushes you to buy, to consume, to not have money, to make the economy roll. Of course, we all. Hey, Morena. Feliz Año Nuevo, Morena, bienvenida, no te había visto, te cambiaste el nombre. Welcome. Welcome to Fundiendo Neuronas. And in this video, actually, I'm going to tell you 7 smart ways on how to spend your third stimulus check. Feliz años. And you should listen to this because girl, I will not say anything, but I know you. So the first is to cover your basic essentials, your mortgage, your rent, everything that you're lacking at this moment, your car insurance, your car, whatever it is that you have to pay it now with that money. However, if you don't really, your food, if your wage has decreased or you have been laid off, that kind of stuff. So that's the first priority. Second one is to pay off your high interest debts. And in the US, that's generally your credit card or consumer loans. I know that in the US, that is crazy. I just don't understand. You pay like 20%, between 15 and 24% interest. Oh my God. My gosh. Those are things. Oh, disclaimer. I'm not a personal budget or financial advisor. Don't sue me. However, I will give you my experience and my mentality when it comes to money. So pay, that's maybe the first or the second thing that you have to see. They have to, you have to pay your credit card. However, for some people, 600 dollars will not be enough. It's nothing. It's like, come on, I have $3,000 credit card debt, so 600 is not enough. But at least pay 300. That's something. If you pay like the minimum amount every month, pay 300, pay 200. Don't do the regular thing. Pay something extra. If you need those 200 of those 600, okay, don't pay those 600, but pay some. You should really get rid of those high credit cards debts. I will give you in my second part like some tips on how to do that. But now it's about the $600 stimulus check. So consumer loans, the interests are very high, people. Please don't do that. Por favor, please. And credit cards, pay that off. The third thing you can do is create your emergency funds, or like our grandmas say, alguito para la fiebre. That's how I I knew. I never heard about emergency funds until recently, like maybe 5 years ago. It's like when my grandmom and my mom call something for the fever. You always have to have some for wherever it happens. Um, then you can create and your emergency funds is generally between 3 or 12 months your regular um, lifestyle saving. So it's a lot of money. It's not really a saving account. It's like if the philosophy behind is, if I would be laid off, if my wage would decrease, or whatever would happen with me, can I survive based on that income funds during 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months. Like many people were laid off, and now during the pandemic, they didn't have any kind of social rights. It depends of the country, but for example, Dominican Republic, if you're laid off, you're laid off. You don't have any right to anything. So if you had your emergency funds of 3 months, 12 months, 6 months, that's a lot of money. It covers everything. It doesn't cover only your wage. It covers, like your mortgage, your electricity, your internet, your car insurance, everything. And like your daily expenses. Like I drink 3 coffees at Starbucks. I go to dinner. I go out to dinner 3 times per week, and that kind of stuff. Like your monthly lifestyle. That's the emergency funds. Like you have 3 months of money saved, accumulated, to continue to live like nothing has happened. So that's a lot of money. The fourth tip I gave you is to save your money. Save something. You can have your general savings account or your specific savings account. Your general is just like, I need to have some money. And your specific savings account is like, I would like to go to, Peru, to Machu Picchu. I'm going to save this for this purpose. You have to be really purpose. You have to have that purpose. Or, I'm going to save for college, my own college, or my niece's college, my daughter's college. I'm going to save for a specific car. I'm going to say for a Bose sound bar, something very specific. So you have your general account and you have specific accounts. In my example, I had a specific saving accounts for whatever happens in the Dominican Republic when my father was alive. There is always something. So like medicine, whatever. And my sixth advice would be, how many they give? Saving for your retirement. I know that in the US, you guys don't really have that kind of good retirement pension when you're 65. After I don't. It's different than here in Europe. So in the US, I know that you guys have to actively build on that. We can do that as well. I know that when I will retire, I will get some of the government, of course, because I pay a lot of taxes and Social Security. But I also have my own retirement funds, my private retirement funds, in which I actually have two. But okay, that's another conversation. In the general one, I pay 3% of my wage. It goes with my employer, so 3% of her wage, and another one, it depends. So yes, let me see. Most of my credit card, yes, Cristina. I know in the US that's a lot. In Morena as well. That's really my only addiction. And shop. Oh my gosh, you're an emotional shopper. I am an emotional eater. So there's always a good reason to go shopping. Like you feel sad, I'm going to shop. I feel happy, I'm going to shop. I feel whatever, I'm going to shop. You know what? Let's go to shop. No pension, which is BS. Good vibes. Judeli, good vibes. Hey, princess. Karina! Hey. Welcome. Yeah, Karina. Now you don't really have that problem. However, actually, yes, you have a problem with food, with takeaway food. What do you mean with this, Morena? No pension, which is BS. Yeah, in my only addiction. So my next tip is um my seventh tip was I forgot this meal is investing some of the money. However, stop. Not anyone can invest. You can only invest if you can miss that money. Well, it depends on how you invest, but generally, yes. If you're doing brokerage or whatever, you have to, your basic needs must be covered. You already have to have saved some money. Your saving accounts, your emergency funds accounts, all your everything, your mortgage has to be covered. Your monthly food budget has to be ready. Everything is something that you can lose when you invest money. That's some you have to think that's something that you can lose. In my example, I have one brokerage account, and that's 50 euros per month. I don't even think about that money. It's like that's something I can lose. If I miss 50 euros per month, I'm not going to get crazy. So, and it depends, here in Europe, you have to do a test before we can do that kind of investment. There are like seven, there is a scale of seven. Like one is the least risk and seven is the highest risk. I'm the fourth on that. So, but when everything is covered and you have like some extra budget, you can say, okay, I can miss those 50 euros or 100 euros for some people or 30 people, 30 euros for somebody else. I will list it up again later, but just the general rules now. So you can invest some of that money if that's a stimulus check, maybe $200. I wouldn't invest those 600. Never. 100, 200, max 300 that you can invest. It depends, of course, of your individual personal situation, if you have everything covered or not. And of course I would pamper myself. I would splurge some, but not too much. Of course, it depends of your individual situation. However, even though if I would have credit card debts, I would maybe like 300 on the credit card debts, and I would splurge myself with $100. But don't sorry guys, I'm so sorry. 100. What would I do? It depends of yourself, or max $200. I like delicious smelling candles. I like lipsticks. I like makeup. I like skincare. Maybe you can buy new sunglasses. I don't know, pearls. You can buy fake pearls or real pearls. New shoes, something that you want and something that you need. Like maybe you need some winter shoes, and so maybe you want a new perfume. I would always splurge myself, but in a budget. Perdiste, sí, perdí la cuenta, Yudeli. Emotional shopper and eater, esa combinación. ¡Hey! Eso es de Satanás. Eso es del diablo, Dios mío. Eso es agua bendita para eso, Morena. Oh my gosh, I am an emotional eater. I have a good relationship with money. I respect money so much. However, I have mis momentos de locura. I'm like, yeah, total, that word, total. Todo se jodió, más se perdió en la guerra, más se perdió en Cuba, blah, blah. Oh my gosh. We all know those things. However, I recover myself very quickly. I have a family member here in this chat. And oh my gosh, she just doesn't know how to handle money. I mean, like, what am I doing here? Advising you guys when my own blood doesn't even listen to me. It's like they don't know how to have money here. Pension is better. The problem is that Morena, it's invested and the market's not. Oh yeah, I prefer a pension that is sure for money. Oh yes. I actually have. I think I have three, 4. Oh my god. No, I have three. They're more stable actually. I have one that I will get, like it's legal. Then they're kind of stable. I know what you mean. Some are very risky. They can be very high, but I'm like, no, not with my money, not now. Maybe when I'm 40, I can do that kind. Not now. So I will repeat again. The first tip that I give you is to cover your basic um, essentials, your mortgage, your like your utilities, all that stuff, your rent, and if that's okay, pay off your credit card debts, your consumer loans. That's two. Three, create an emergency fund. You know, like that. Like a safe. Like 3 to 12 months. Um, your lifestyle expenses covered. Maybe start now with 100, 150. You can always start with something. It doesn't need to be the 600. Fourth, save in your general saving account or your specific saving accounts. The general is just like you never know. It's just saving. You can save everything or only a third. It depends of your individual situation, and save some in your specific saving accounts. A trip to Morocco, a trip to, I don't know, Los Angeles, a new coat. Four, five, save for retirements, some, or and invest in something, in a new business, your makeup business, or your events planning business, something into brokerage. It depends. But that's something that you can miss. $200 that you say, okay, I close my eyes. It's like I burned them, I lost them. Invest what you can lose. Of course, it depends on your individual situation. If everything is covered, you can invest more. But if you need that money for your credit card debts, or your mortgage, or your rent, your car, your life insurance, whatever, that goes first. And splurge yourself. Always splurge yourself with your stimulus check, with your regular wage. Always splurge yourself. Otherwise, you cannot you can you cannot live. You cannot live. You need to live a bit. Otherwise, you cannot go on chale. Soportar. How you say that? The struggle is real for sure. Okay, I will give you an example. If you, of course, you receive your $600 stimulus check, I always say break it up, and then you see that you don't have that the amount of money that you think you have. I will be more specific. Okay, you think, whoa, $600, that's a lot of money. No, if you say like, let me spend 200 $200 on me and my family, I can go out to dinner, then you have only 400 less. And then you say, let me pay some credit card debts with $200, and you see 200, and then you have 200 more. So when you give a specific objective to money, when you break it down in pieces, then you see, oh my gosh, I really don't have a lot of money. If you think, okay, I'm going to save that $600, you think, oh my gosh, I have saved $600. But when you save them in specific goals, like from those $600, you save 200 in your general saving account, 200 in your emergency refunds account, and 200 in a trip to Vietnam account. You will see, oh my gosh, I truly don't have $600. I have 200. And like, I don't know in the US, but here in my bank, at least, I can open as many saving accounts as I want to, and it's free. At least in my bank, it's free. So I have many saving accounts, like blah 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 blah, like a whole list. And then it's like, oh my gosh, I truly don't have a lot of money as I thought. Because if I get 800 euros and I break them up and I give them all different um, objectives, then you don't see a lot of money. Okay, so and the struggle is real. Yes, Morena. I know, because that's a cultural thing. Americans are pushed, or people that live in America are pushed to spend all their money, and they need to build credit. We don't know that concept here in continental Europe. In the UK, in the United Kingdom, it does exist. That's the American way. You have to spend, you have to build up a credit. 800 thing is a good credit. I don't know. We don't know that here. I know it exists in the DR, Dominican Republic, because we copy everything that is North American. However, here we don't know that. And to be honest, I didn't have a credit card until I think 5 or 6 years ago, when I was going to the Dominican Republic, and there was a new rule that we could not pay with our Belgian debit card in the DR, outside of the of Europe, of the European Union or Europe. I remember, I think it was 2015 or 2014. And then I got my credit card, because otherwise I could not use my personal debit card in the Dominican Republic. So that's the only reason I got. When I turned 20, I remember the bank contacted me and they offered me a credit card, and I say no, thank you. And that was okay. Like, they didn't push so hard. I know that in the US and many countries, those banks are calling you constantly, and pushing you a lot of, showing you a lot of loans and seducing you with all that stuff. Here, it doesn't really happen, or it happens. You see that on TV and everywhere, but it's it's strictly regulated. Yes, and it's a bit of taboo, because it's the thing here is like, if you cannot pay it, why would you use it? That's also a logic that I have. If I want to buy something, I don't know. Let's say I want to go to Turkey on a trip. Let's say it costs, everything all in is 1,500 euros. I will pay it with my credit card, because actually you need not a credit card outside of Europe. But I will only do that if I can pay that, if I already have those 1,500 euros. So please, guys, try to say, like, do I have that money? Yes or no. Do I have it? Okay, pass the credit card. If you don't have it, please don't, because you will be a slave paying rates. We don't need to be in chains now, but in the US, the impact, like, loans are like the new slavery. That's crazy over there. I just don't get it. Man, my mom started opening credit cards in my name. No! No, Cristina, dime que te estás relajando. How can you have a credit card since you were young? Can you have as a minor a credit card? No. Before I had my credit card, my regular credit card, I had how you call them? ¿Cómo se llama el concepto? That credit card that you can put some money in it. ¿Cómo se llama? I forgot the name. I use that term every day. Like, you can put 500 euros, and then, okay, if you use it, you use it. You can put like the amount of money there. Rechargeable. You can recharge the money, because yes, I know. In the US, credit is so important. My sister that used to live here in Belgium, that lives now in New York, oh my gosh, that's the most stingy person that I know, la tacaña. And she explained me that. She's like, in the US, people are calling you, or the banks are calling you constantly. And she's actually the one that truly, truly explained to me the system of the credit things. She has absolutely no problems with credit, because she has always been very stingy. But I mean, like, the impact of it, it's just, she's like, she was so surprised that in the US there is not a savings um, mentality. It's more a consumer mentality, and they make it very easy to you to to buy things as a consumer. Consumer loans are very easy here as well, but it's more strictly regulated. It's to build credit doing the same way with my son. Oh, with a minor. How, can you build credit for a minor? Yes, me. Yeah. Secured credit card. Now, is that the name secured credit card? Like something you can recharge, like 300, poof. Okay, and then I can use that 300, some places, like you can only pay with a credit card in the US. So if I did international shopping or I went on a trip, I don't know, outside of Europe, I would, like in Turkey, not very far away, I would use that reusable or rechargeable credit card, whatever. So it wasn't until maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago that I really got a credit card. Secure credit card is safe. Yes, it's 16 years old. Wow. My gosh, you truly have to be very careful. Wow. It's very hard for you guys. Damn. 16 years old. Of course, you think life is beautiful and you're going to buy everything. Oh my God. I will give you an example. Of course, everybody's wage is different, but I'm going to use 1,500 euros as a you know as a wage, because I think Americans, you guys earn more money, but you pay also less taxes and have less government health subsidies and that kind of stuff, and for education. So I choose 1,500 euros like as a regular wage. Let's say you only have the amounts you put on the card, secured card. Okay, that's the term, secured card. Yes, and that's what I had for years. For years, 4 years, I had that kind of card. So I knew, and actually, you know what happened? I forgot that I had money on that card, and in November that card, last November, was expired. So the bank gave me was my money, refunded me some 301 euros, something like that. So I forgot I still had money on that card. Dumb of me, of course. However, as it's expired, I don't know what happened, whatever, something changed. That money was refunded to me. So I always had like, you know, I've always have some budgets. So I'm going to teach you. Oh my gosh, so pretentious. I'm going to advise you what I would do if I would have a 1,500. Is it doable in the U.S. A wage of $1,500, or is it like no, that's too low, that's too minimum? Or like what's a minimum wage? I know it depends of from state to state, but maybe 2,000, 1,500. I don't know. When they go to college, they give you credit cards. Oh, okay. All right. Here's going along your debt student loans. Congratulations. I didn't know that. Oh my gosh, the student loans in the US. That's crazy, man. Like some people are paying 20 years for a student loan. That's a mortgage. Padre mio. Padre mio. So 1,500. Um, they want to raise the minimum. Okay, 50 an hour, $15 an hour. Okay, what would and you guys work 60 hours per week, I guess, or 40, 38. It depends, but I will use maybe the example of 1,500. Hey, crazy boy, what's up? Welcome. I'm having a different kind of topic today. It's about saving some money. I was inspired by you guys and the third American stimulus check. So in case that I would earn a minimum wage of 1,500 euros. Okay, five for I would there is a holy trinity, as I like to call it. Not I like to call it. It's just it is what it is. The banking. That's how banking starts. Like you have you have to save. No, you have to spend what you have to cover your mortgage, your rent, your utilities, your life insurance, whatever. You have to invest and you have to save. So spend the things that you need, save because you have to save, and invest if you can lose some money. So um if your wage is $1,500, your rent cannot be higher than $500. I know that's crazy, especially when you're a solo earner, but it is what it is. When you go to the bank and you ask for a mortgage and they only check your loan, your wage, you will see that 33% is the max that they will. It depends on the bank and the country, of course, but that's a general rule that they will lend you. Not there, mama. What the heck? For real? The U.S. Really? 30% is the max because you need all that other money. Damn. So 500 euros your rent, and then some 10% on utilities, your gas, your electricity, your internet, your whatever, you have to clean, you have to pay the person that cleans the apartment, all that stuff. So I would make that 200, 250. Change your internet company, change your, whatever, your gas company, monthly pay. What? Your rent is 60% of your pay? Girl, what? You are, what? As a solo earner or as a dual earner, because then I can understand. If you're a couple, if you're married and you have a mortgage or a rent and it's 60% of your own, no, man, no. No. Key. No. I refuse to believe that. 60%. But how can you live? It's impossible. You're only paying. No, 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 no. Ese es, mi amor, pero yo. Ay, ay, ay. El 60%. Espérate, déjame hacer un cálculo. O sea, yo sé cuánto, pero como quiera que yo lo tengo que ver así. Es que no. I refuse to believe that. Ay, Michelito. No. ¿Qué? No, jamás en la vida. Jamás. You cannot save. You cannot save. No. Guys, you should move to a smaller apartment. No. You should get a partner. You should get a partner. Find a complex. I hope you find a girl very soon with whom you can share your, tus gastos. Because 60% for one person. Okay, actually could not be higher than 33%. It's unsustainable that way. Okay, in New Jersey, I paid $1 and I moved to Texas. Oh, you're in Texas now. Oh, mi amor, pero claro, tú ves. Algo inteligente, muy bien. Diablo, pero qué diferencia from 1,400 to 650, of course. And I'm sure that the house is even larger, bigger. Because that's the thing, when you live in the city center, come on, here in Brussels, London, Paris, wherever, that's a lot of money. Apartments are smaller and very expensive. And when you live just half an hour outside of the city center, they're much bigger and, or not necessarily bigger, but they're like less expensive. Yeah, it depends where you live, yes. Cónchale, Morena, pero eso es un buen ahorro, eso es un ahorro, eso es un ahorro. Yeah, yeah. So, okay, if it's possible, depending on if you live in New York, maybe that's, or New Jersey, that's impossible. But if you live in Nebraska, Idaho, maybe it's possible. Like make it 600, 500, 650. If your wage is, let's say, 1,500, make have like cost effective utilities company, gas, electricity, and all that stuff. And if you see like my electricity or my gas is too high, maybe put a bit down the temperature during the winters and wear an extra coat. That's what my Dominican mom always did. It was always cold, not to her but to us, because we like to wear t-shirts during during the winter. And she was like, wear this coat, mi amor, this coat to be at home in the house. Wear this coat, wear those pantofla, ¿cómo se dice? Those things to be inside. Wear the sweat pants for inside. Wear this. You're not in the Dominican Republic. You're not at the beach. So put some warm clothes. Of course, don't get sick, but you know what I mean. And third, I would, from those 1,500 that I already spent, 500 on the mortgage and 200 on utilities, I would splurge only, no, I will say that later. I would make $300 food budget. Yes, I would buy, like, of course, it depends on what you like. The generic brands, the generic rice brands, the generic bean brands, because maybe you don't know, but there is a lot of private label. Generally, you have the same companies packing for everyone. It's just like a different company has a different brand, but usually it's the same rice, it's the same beans, the same pistachios, the same tomatoes, the same everything. It depends, of course. I would buy the generic brands. And I would make some things myself. Personally, I like chili pepper, hot chili pepper, olive oil. I like garlic oil. I like all ¿cómo se dice? Hierbabuena, all the kind of species oils. You can make them yourself because they cost between 8 and 12 euros. So what you can do is, here's a tip. Here's a tip of me before. I would buy like a large, maybe not the cheapest, but among the cheapest, large of olive oil bottle. And then I would peel some. Everybody speaks Spanish here. En fin, yo pelaría los ajos, la albahaca, lo que sea, la hierba que a mí me gusta. Y yo lo ponía en un potecito redondo de vidrio con aceite de oliva y yo lo entraba en el horno por media hora. Entonces ya ese aceite de oliva iba a estar was going to be infused with that oil, with the taste of the garlic, of the red hot chili peppers, or whatever thing that I would put in. And I would then, like an hour later, put that in a bottle. So I wouldn't have to buy an 8 or a bottle like that in the supermarket, because it costs like from 8 to 12 or 15 euros. So I will have I usually have like 5 infused olive oil bottles. So I would do that myself. Texas Space. ¿Qué? Cristina, pero tú me estás hablando en serio. Ay, madre mía. Ah, no, pero espérate que tenemos tu plan. Pero sola. That's one of the many factors that made me move to Texas. Coño, pero hey. Wow. For gas and cigarettes when I smoked. Yeah, smoking, burning that money. Wow, man, that's so expensive. Thank God the opportunity to move to Texas came up. Wow. If I would leave New York, I would not think it twice to move to Texas. It sounds much, much better. Oh my gosh. I am in shock. You pay over 2K. Vamos a hacer una vaina con eso. Okay, Chris, I'm going to. Okay. You know what I would do? Like your channel is monetized. That money and the money that you get via PayPal and Cash App and all that stuff, I would take that money for your day to day things, like when like for groceries and for hygienic thing, like when you buy kitchen paper, when you buy your shower foam, that kind of things. I would take that from the YouTube money. When you need like a new lipstick, YouTube money. All that kind of stuff. I would do that, and some groceries, and the rest of the money I would save that. I would pay my credit card debts, and your fixed income, fixed costs. Damn, Dios mío, that's a lot of money. The reason I'm able to afford it is because my daughter gets Social Security money every month. Ah, yeah, yeah, that's true. Okay, you quit smoking. Okay, I understand, Morena. Of course you quit smoking. Dios mío, of course. I think I would smoke and drink and everything if I would have all those things on my shoulders. Just me. That's the best. I think that's one of the best decisions you've ever made in your life. Okay, the social security money of the father. Yeah, it's true. Until they're 18, they're still young, so you still have time to have your plan B. You're having your plan B, making content, and with your makeup side hustle, and you should go back to event planning. You're stressed. Claro que sí. It's crazy. You don't know. Yeah. Actually, you guys, you know how to manage money because staying alive with that kind of mortgage, 60% of rent and mortgage. How do Americans, sorry guys, Americans are evil. How? How can you do that? I mean, I think that's not even possible here. That's not even possible here. Yeah. Girl, you need to grow that channel. Madre mia. Wait, I need to ask him because he knows more about the banking world than me. Damn, 60%. I'm still shocked. I'm still shocked. So the thing is, I would have a fixed monthly budget for groceries. Actually, I used to have that. Like I buy that kind of thing, that kind of rice, that kind of orange juice. However, we all have every month, especially when you're women, that you have like this craving, like I want, let's say, lobster. But of course, that lobster is not in your budget because your budget is made of, the price of rice, beans, chicken, salad, broccoli, olive oil, canola oil, whatever oil it is, orange juice, apple juice, and all that stuff. So what I would do was, if I wanted, for example, something extra that was not in that budget that costs 20 euros, what I would do is I would buy a cheaper orange juice or apple juice or whatever juice, and a cheaper brand of rice and a cheaper brand of beans for that month. And with the cheaper, you know, and with that money that I would save, that 20 euros that I would save, I would buy my lobster. Get what I'm saying? So you can tweak a bit in the same budget. Now you say like, sometimes it's hard because I can't, you know, some people, my partner, he doesn't drink like some kind of orange juice. It needs to be like that. However, he can drink any kind of apple juice, but I can't. I need to drink some specific quality of apple juice, otherwise I cannot drink it. So sometimes you have to check what you can do. So you can buy a cheaper kind of tea, bread, whatever, just because you have that crave of that lobster. So you can tweak in that week or during that month. So, but it's important to have a budget and not exceed that budget. And that was the food, budget. The second, and then we had, I would spend from that $1,500. Um, I would save 250 if possible. 125 for the emergency fund. Remember that, for whatever happens, if you're laid off, or if your heat breaks, whatever you have to fix in your house, something happens. 125, and 125 in my generic or specific saving accounts. It depends on where you're at. If you already have your emergency funds, you can save 125 euros dollars in any kind of accounts you want. So from 1,500 we have $500 mortgage or rent, which not $250 utilities, card and insurance inclusive, $300 on your food, groceries, um, $250 savings, and then $200 splurge. That splurge is your hair, is your nails, I need to, your brows, your shower foam, your bathing salt, your perfume, is dinner, is Starbucks, is a cocktail, and it's also the lobster that you wanted to eat. When you had like the $300 budget for food, and you wanted lobster, you can tweak buying food that is cheaper, or you can have it. You can put it in a 200 euros, $200 fun splurge budget. You have to budget everything, and when you budget things, you say like, "Oh my gosh, I don't have a lot of money." Even if you 3,000 euros is like, I don't have anything. When you budget things, when you split the money up, when you say $500 for that account, 500 euros for that account, 500 euros for that account, you say, "Oh my gosh, I truly don't have a lot of money, or I don't earn so much money as I thought." So you have to do that. That's something that I learned from my mom and my sister that lives now in New York. She was crazy. Before those apps that trace every expense you did, she did it. She noted, she wrote everything down. Like I went there and I bought a coffee, I bought a Coca-Cola, I bought waffle. Truly, she had like this small A5 or A6, no, A6 note blocks, and she would note everything. This kind of thing. She had this. She would note everything, every expense she had. She would note everything. That's how I learned. My mom, same. The fact that I have so many saving accounts it's due to my mom. She would have like Dominican Republic, this, that, blah, 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 blah. But like university when she graduates, blah, 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 blah. You truly need to have that kind of things. And have a lot of love and respect for money, because it's not easy to grow. Yes, you will grow. Amen, hallelujah. You will grow your channel. You have to be more aggressive with the PayPal and Cash App and all that stuff. And people that want to comment and talk a lot in your lives, they need to pay you at least $3 or $5. Please, Christina, do that. Please, please, please. It's been good. Yeah. About managing money, keeping track. That's amazing. But man, with those, you're alone with that mortgage. I know you have to go, after the pandemic, I know people are going to make, have a lot of social interactions. So, women are going to their best, they wear makeup and all that stuff. And people are going to celebrate again life, birth, and all that. Americans have all that kind of commercial celebrations, bachelor parties, whatever party, gender reveal, baby showers, and all that stuff. You truly have to do that. And your makeup channel, if I were you, I would say like, talk about your experience. You were an event planner, and become again an event planner. that that thing that you did is extremely cool. Like you had like five themes, and people would choose, so you don't have to buy everything again. So you can talk about that. So people that want to become an event planner, they can look at your content, and your content can maybe be monetized. That kind of content in that channel, or maybe in your regular Viva Bella by Cristina channel as well. You can do as you please. And you can talk about your experience when you were an event planner, what kind of events you had, your worst and your best experience, all that stuff. But also, continue with that, and teach other people that want to become an event planner. Like you can begin this, like what can you do with $100 budget, or 105 of 100 budget. I would do that. I would do that because people are going to celebrate birthdays and everything a lot. So get your money. Using several streams of income. Yes, for sure. That used to have this money. Yes, because he was half Dominican, right? Yeah. I love that kind of man. That's just give you all their money and let you manage the bills and everything. I love that. Like, so tuyo y arregla. Yeah. All ladies do that. Actually, we all do that. We all do that. Actually, that's true. Not in my hand, but in the same accounts, and then I'm the one that manages everything. I think that's something very. Is it feminine, or it's just like nature has given us that task, to pay everything, like to have, like in my case it's the same. It's a same bank account, and then I from there I pay everything except the mortgage, that goes automatically. So I would say always budget everything. We all have our moments of craziness, of emotions, of course, but try to budget everything. To me, it's very easy because I don't have children. However, I do have nieces and nephews, and this in this era, they like all the expensive things that I just don't understand. So my everything's so expensive for teenagers and children nowadays. I just don't understand all these new necessities that they are creating, and they're constantly bombarded by the social media. Oh, Tia, buy me this. I want this. Oh, look how cute this is. So it's very, very hard nowadays. So when you have children, you have to be extra careful. I know, Christina, you have something like my mom, like this, hosteadora, vendiendo esto, haciendo aquello. But it's very important to do that. But if you have a certain debt, you have to cover that debt first. With those 600 euros, dollars, or stimulus check, I would not spend everything, or cover that, or pay that debt off. I would pay $300 or something like that, because every situations specifically on the internet, I discovered that there are a lot of people, like personal finance advisors, and they always speak about some rules like 70-20, whatever. I don't believe in those rules. Why? Because every situation is very specific. It's very different when you have children, or you want, or you know like, how is your family composed? One earner, one solo earner, and two children, or there is you have a couple, but that couple doesn't work for whatever reason, and then you have one child or two children. So it's very different. It's very hard. It's very different. So those rules do not apply for everyone, and everyone doesn't have the same goals. Like, some people do not have a specific account, saving account, for a specific goal, for a trip, for some shoes, for the car. So they don't need, in first instance, that specific saving account. However, everyone does need a saving account, an emergency fund, and a general saving account. Everybody needs that, and everybody needs to live debts free, or at least minimum debts. Like your mortgage is a good debt to me, that kind of things. And not everyone is in the stage of investing. Not everyone can invest, because invest for me, investing money is money that you can lose and not have a problem with. You cannot invest a third of your money. Some people say that yes, you have to invest a third of your wage. Hell no. If you earn 1,500, you cannot invest 500 euros. You can't. Okay, maybe if you're married well and everything, but not even. It's just like a third of your money, like that. Okay, if you make $12,000 per month, maybe you can invest a third of your money when everything else is covered. But now, like investing, that's the last step to me. You can do that when you can miss that money. Tina, sit here in my house. Yes, that's what I said. We all manage the money in our houses. Yeah, my grandma, mama, that's a female thing. That's a female thing. I think they don't like to pay all that stuff. It's like, oh my god, that's so overwhelming. You handle that. You handle that. Yeah, no, it's doable. Yes, yes, but please, those credit cards, please think carefully. Can I pay it now? Like, if you see, I don't know, new TV, 500 euros TV, I don't know, and you want that TV, you have to think, like, do I have those 500 euros? Yes or no? No, don't buy it. Okay, I have 500, but only 500. Of course, you cannot buy it either. You need some money extra, because you might need to fix it in a year or so. So, and the emergency fund is so important, guys. I'm going to tell you a personal story. Exactly 1 year ago, um, like, something was broken. The heat was broken. Something happened in this house, in this building. Oh my gosh! And it was like whatever. We had to call immediately. It was 12 o'clock. Actually, we were sleeping when we were going to sleep. And I had to call the plumber. At 12 o'clock or 1 a.m., you call a plumber, you know that that person is going to charge you a lot. It costed us 1,200 euros, and I'm not lying. I'm not lying. And of course, you have to pay that immediately. We pay that immediately, of course, because we have an emergency fund. If we would have no emergency, that was not even from my saving accounts. That was from my emergency fund. For whatever thing that happens. Even when I fix the shoes, I have a specific account. Oh my gosh, you're going to think I'm crazy, but that's how I roll. That's how I work. I need to have different kind of because otherwise I have the impression that that you have some money there, and actually you don't. You have to give some specific goals to every cent that you have, to every penny that you have. So that's one. The second one, whenever something broke, yes, and in the kitchen, our la llave and la garantía había pasado ya. So the guarantee had expired, so we had to buy that again. So you're going to buy the same one because it was a good one, blah blah blah. So again, emergency fund. So if you don't have no credit card, no nothing, just out of our pockets. If you don't have that money, I can keep with that kind of stories on and on. However, it doesn't hit that hard because you're kind of prepared. You already have that money. Again, some people cannot make or build or create very fast a large emergency fund because to me, again, it's easy. I do not have children. I do not have that responsibility. If you have children, it's going to be a bit more difficult. However, you need to have that saving thing. And so the children know that they have to save as well. Like what happens is yes, very expensive. Yes, man. Every electronics and there is like every 3 months a new Jordans, a new pair of Nike shoes. I try to tell my nephews like, my gosh, like $100 or euros is enough for sports shoes. Come on, like oh my gosh, no, the sneakers, or those Kurachis, whatever, or qué sé yo, that. I'm like, no, no. And talking about fashion, that's something that is also dear to my heart for my minorities here in Europe and in the US as well. Guys, we all know, but it has to do with deeper issues when it comes to fashion. Many people, and especially the ones that earn the less, are the ones that like to flash with some brand clothing. I'm telling you something. If those brands are not geared to us, those brands are targeting high society people. Which brands? Fendi, Dolce Gabbana, Armani, Givenchy, Christian Louboutin, all those designer brands. I'm not talking about Michael, the lower range Michael Kors and that kind of stuff. We have a problem because a lot of people in the US live in Section 8 apartments, or here, the same kind of apartment here, or in the UK, in Europe, and they wear those clothes. You see them with those shoes, the same clothing. However, come on, guy, you are not high society. You're not geared. You're not a target. Please stop lying to yourself. You cannot buy it. How can you buy 1,000 euros weave when you only make 1,500 euros per month? That's crazy. That's crazy. How can you? Oh my gosh. Sorry. I mean, like, you cannot drive a BMW. You cannot die in the loans, because you want to pretend to have the life that you don't have. I am an aspiring middle class. I'm a middle class, aspiring middle class. I always say my partner, he is middle class, middle higher class, and I'm lower middle class. He's the one who pushes me up, because I only take account of my money, my wage, and everything. We live together and everything as well. However, yo cuento con lo mío. You never account with other people's money. That's one. And two, I derailed again. It's to say you can, if you want to you should buy quality, not brands. We have enough smaller brands or even larger brands with a good quality. Just buy like a cotton or wool shirt, not a polyester one. Whatever you choose to do, but don't try to buy a 600 euro shirt from Armani or whatever brands when you cannot. But you're not. You're not a target. Even in their publicity, they make references to things that generally people that live in Section 8 don't know. They make references to paintings of Michelangelo, of paintings or whoever. So please do not go into debt, credit card debt or whatever kind of debts, when you cannot have that life. You cannot have a Birkin bag. Come on, Birkin bag. How much does that cost? $80,000. Come on, that's for the finest, the richest of the planet. Louis Vuitton, like the Louis Vuitton, when you see the LV, those are the cheapest one for the ones that like to show off, the ones that truly maintain those. And then you have the expensive Louis Vuitton bags of 15,000, 10,000 euros, but you don't see Louis Vuitton nowhere. So they have like also their how you call that, hierarchy, like the top notch is, you don't see the brand, however you see the message, you see the patterns, you see, okay, that's a Chanel. There is nowhere you can see Chanel, but you see the patterns or the colors, the arrangement, that's Gucci, that's Armani, because you see, the cuts. They know that, or when you work in fashion, okay, that's an Armani, that's a Versace, only by seeing at the color composition and that kind of stuff. When you see like the brands, like Armani, Givenchy, and all that stuff, they made it's low quality, and they made it specifically for people from the lower middle class that want to aspire to be middle and higher middle class. Okay, there's a whole lesson about that. There is a whole psychology and a business strategy and all that stuff. But the thing is, like, don't go into debt to buy $400 Jordans, $600 Jordans, because you don't have that money. That's the thing. That's a very American thing, to go into debt to pretend that they are ghetto rich, ghetto fabulous. You are not. You're not the target of those people. When you see the advertisement, the publicity, you see those people like they're having fun in the French Riviera, in a boat and all that stuff. That's a lifestyle. That's the lifestyle of the people, of their clients, not the lifestyle of taking every day the subway, struggling to make ends meet and all that stuff. Yeah, yeah, we need to have separate emergency funds for sure, 100%. You need to have that. That's like, even before you start saving, that's something for whatever, like for the hospital bill, for the hospital bill. We're now in the pandemic, so for whatever thing that can happen when you get sick, when your child gets sick, and that's always unexpected. When something happens in the DR, that kind of things that will happen, but you don't know when. You hope that they will never happen, but they do. That's emergency fund. And also to actually the emergency fund is also, is actually, in case you're laid off, that you can maintain the same lifestyle 3 to 12 months. However, you can have your modified emergency funds, okay, in case I get laid off, 3 to 12 months, having the same life, but also the extra things that happen, like, oh my gosh, my shoes, or whatever, the house heating, something broke, my car, the extra thing that will happen, but you never know when. That's the thing. Like your dishwasher broke, or your oven, or your refrigerator, that kind of thing. Have that money always there, because it will happen. You should don't know when. And for those fashion victims, please buy quality, whatever brand it is, because it's not because it's a brand, it means it's good quality. And generally, we, the lower middle class, can only buy with a lot of effort, like the trashy, or the less fashionable, less lower quality brand, that's a brand, designer brand clothing. It is what it is. However, if you buy a cotton, 100% cotton, like this uniform, that's always good, like a white blouse, black shoes, and good shoes. They don't need to be branded. They need to be like, regular, like a good brand, like one for $200, 150, you have like good leather. And that's the thing, our shoes, women's shoes, are made to, to stay alive, to oh my, how you say, para que duren 2 a 3 años máximo. That's the business. Men's shoes can be around for 5 years and longer, because men buy less and buy more expensive stuff. But that's also another thing. But I think so. Yeah. So, Christina, what I would do in your case is that YouTube money, be more aggressive with it. People have to contribute more. You spend a lot of money, or time. That's even more valuable than money. A lot of time with your research, making content. So come on, in all those lives, people can contribute some. And use that for, maybe to create your emergency funds. Like if something happens to my dishwasher or whatever, make make an emergency fund. Yeah. And later, or or your groceries, it depends of your specific situation, and or maybe to pay off your credit card debts. So Americans, your credit card debts, please, pay it as soon as possible, because that's crazy. Otherwise, you'll be like paying during 25 years. All that. Okay. And if possible, please, 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 everyone, move to a cheaper apartment, cost effective. Move to a cheaper apartment and don't make it, oh my gosh, it needs to be maximum 33% of your wage. Of course, if you again earn $1,500 and your partner um, earns $1,500, it increases. It can be, like 60% of your wage now because you're two. But I would not make it more expensive than 1,000. Why? I would not do that. No, never. Come on, like that's too much because imagine that if he dies, if he's laid off or whatever happens to your partner, you have to know that you can continue on your own. That's very important, especially when you're a woman. So you have to continue on your own. You have to know that. So, yeah. Do you have a question? Does anyone have a question? Yeah, so yeah, the emergency fund for sure. And don't listen too much to those professional um, personal financial advisor when they come with those percentages because every situation is different. I can come on, like I'm in a privileged situation. Having no kids is very privileged in an economical way, and also when you have a partner who's also very saving like you, actually he says like I spend a lot of money, which is not. So that helps a lot. Yeah, and teach your children how to save money a bit. You have to something that, yeah, I learned also from a young age was, when I got a dollar in the US, when I would do something for my aunt in the US, I would got a dollar, I would never spend that dollar, or maybe 30 cents. Actually, I never spent anything, to be honest. I don't gasté nada. I'm so stingy. Damn. So when I got money, I would never spend everything. It's impossible to me. I just can't. It's impossible. But yes, pay those debts. Pay those debts. The higher interests. If you have several debts with high interest, pay the one that has the highest interest first. That's a condizione sine qua non. Like there is no way around it. Um, yes, and the extra money that you get from side hustle and all that stuff, of course, you said to reinvest in your side hustle, but again, also in your day-to-day life, in the shop, in the, how you call that, in your dishwasher, soap, that kind of stuff. Yeah, because that helps a lot. And also maybe you should make a list or go to your kitchen, everybody in your house, and see what can I use in a less in a cheaper way. For example, in my personal case, my kitchen paper, how you call that's kitchen paper, it's the cheapest on the market. Why? I don't need an expensive one. Again, I do not have children, so I don't need like the one that absorbs everything. So I buy the cheapest one. So you can see like, am I buying the most expensive kitchen paper? Yes, no, they have children. No, how do they behave? Okay, maybe I can buy a package of six that costs €3 instead of €6. Um, this maybe I don't know, like all these oils, all these olive oils, maybe I can make those perfumed olive oils, like in olive and this, and I can make my own balsamic acid. Maybe I should make a video about that. Aceto balsamico, maybe I can do my reduced aceto balsamico myself instead of buying it. So there are a lot of things that you can do as well. Something that helps a lot is also planning your food. Sometimes years ago, 7 8 years ago, I did plan my food. I had like 5 or 6 dishes planned, this with that, that will on Monday, this or not maybe very strictly because I'm Dominican. I cannot really plan, but I know like that in next week I will eat this, I will eat that. That when you already know which dishes you eat, it's also easier. When you know how much tomatoes, America says tomatoes you need to make a sauce, whatever dish, you already you can save, so you don't waste too much. Like you know how much your kids eat, how much you eat, how much rice you eat, how much beans you eat, how much whatever, you can buy enough and not too much. You can also freeze a lot of stuff when you're cutting a lot of salad. Like tomorrow is Sunday, I know that tomorrow I will be cutting some stuff. I started the new year again with a new plan. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to do more things myself, that kind of things. And that saves you a lot of money. Believe in me when I say that I know how you can save money. Save in the in the shower, everything. Do I need all those soaps? I am like, okay, and do I really need a new product, that kind of things. Your clothing, yeah. Well, I think I will finish here because I'm rambling, rambling, rambling. So, guys, thank you for watching. If you don't have like a very specific question, I will leave. Thank you for being there during this hour. I hope I could help you with something. Um, if you have a question, please comment or whatever. I'm not a professional financial planner, assistant, professional, whatever it is. So don't sue me. However, I know I have helped personal friends and colleagues with that. Like do this, this, and this and that, and you have to stick to that plan. It's very hard. It comes naturally to me. I say I am privileged and I don't have like many fixed costs. However, yeah, I'm very pleased to help you if you need my advice or tips or a plan. And budget everything. When you budget everything down, when you have several saving accounts, you will see like, oh my gosh, I have less money than I thought. That's the way it is. So, Morena, gracias por estar ahí. ¡Mua! Cuídate, feliz año. Por ahí estaré haciendo más contenido esta semana, más temprano. Always in a live because I do not edit. I don't have time to edit and the patience and all that stuff. So I will make lives a bit early, but you can watch them later. And yes, I thank you that I could give you some tips. All right. Cristina, gracias, Madrina, Morena. Un beso, cuídense. And holla at me if you need some tips or whatever. And tomorrow I will be making some videos about other topics. I'm very glad that I could help you about that. And Morena, maybe you should start a movement to make everyone, or not everyone, many people from New York that are struggling in New York and New Jersey to move to Texas. All right, so un beso, and anyone who watches this video, please like, subscribe, and comment. We need this channel to grow. Yeah. Beso a todas. Happy 2021. Se fue.